Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you the best time to eat your fennel seeds when they're coming into fruition. So generally the fennel will flower. A lot of times it won't bolt until the next year. So sometimes you got to wait 2 years. Sometimes it bolts the first year. But for me, I like to eat my fennel seeds when they're still in their green pod stage. And whatever I don't get to, then I will let ripen over the winter. I'll leave it on the plant, let it ripen, and then I collect the seeds in the spring. Or I'll pick them in the fall, and just so if I get enough people, asking me for fennel seed, then I will pick them and then sell them out. But a lot of times I like to just let them ripen on the plant. It's the best way. The seed is a living organism, so it records the winters as it goes through the winter, and then I believe the plant becomes more hardened to the conditions of your environment as it goes through that. So I like to leave my seeds in the environment in which they grow. So right through the winter, even though the plant's dead, the seed's still alive. The seed's still recording what kind of a winter it is, and then that makes the plant more adaptable. So generally, I like to eat my fennel seeds when they're like this. And we'll basically pick a bunch of them. Let's make sure there's no bugs on them. And I like to eat them when they're green, because it's literally like eating a fresh pod. There's no, like when the fennel seeds dry, they become more woody. And you can use them, that's not a problem. It's just when you're trying to eat them raw, you want to eat them when they're green. They taste really, really good when they're green. So let's give that a go. Alright, so here are the fennel seeds. If you can see, those are one in my hand. I'll eat those and I'll try to describe the effect. Now, it's going to taste like fennel no matter what you do. So describing the flavors is probably not that big of a deal, but I'm trying to more or less describe the effect. I'm looking at this spider over here. Big wolf spider running around, collecting any bugs that get in there. So let's give those a go and try to describe how they break up and chew up and whatnot. So, wow, very potent in flavor. Excellent fennel flavor. If you like the fennel flavor, that's the way to go. You can eat the bulbs, and you can pretty much eat every part of it. It's just at certain times of the year and at certain stages of the plant, it's really not edible, so it's probably best to just juice it. But if you're looking to eat a part of the plant that you want to just eat or you want to forage, one of the best parts is, like I showed you, the fennel berries before they actually turn into seeds. And I really consider them berries. It's very chewable. They break up nice. No like woody mass left over when you're done. Everything broke up just like you're eating any other kind of fruit. If you tried to do that with dry fennel seed, it would be a little bit more difficult. You would have a mass that's left over that's going to be kind of woody and spiny because of the fibers, and you got to swallow that. Whereas when you eat them when they're fresh, like I just did, they break up very nice, just like any other vegetable. They're very tasty. Now, the intensity of the flavor on the fennel seed is very heavy, as opposed to, say, eating like the bulb part or, like the stem part of it. And this is very, very intense in flavor. So you're going to get this rush of fennel flavor from it, and then it's going to mellow out very quickly. But it's going to leave that fennel kind of after effect on your tongue. When you eat fennel, you get kind of like this after effect. You just got to, get used to the fennel after effect. But I really like eating my fennel seed when they're green. I'll pick some more. I'll pick a whole bract for you and eat it that way. Here I have a whole bract, like that. Absolutely delicious. It's the best way to eat your fennel seed. Now, you might be like, oh, well, you got to eat tons of that to, kind of, fill your belly or make something out of it. Not necessarily. Believe it or not, one fennel plant can produce so many umbels. It's incredible. Okay, this is my bronze fennel right here. You can see how many umbels are on one bronze fennel plant. I mean, there's literally thousands upon thousands of seeds coming out of one plant. That's why when I let them winter over out here, I let the brown fennel winter over, it drops seed and it just comes up like a forest every year now since I planted it. It self-seeds, and these roots, I believe they're biannual, so they'll live like 2 years. But then after that, it's, they die out. So you want to do whatever you're going to do within the first year to 2 years of it. You can wait the second year, you might get another batch of seed out of it. But they're the same thing. I'll pick one of these too. Okay, that's the bronze fennel. It's a little bit smaller of a seed pod. You can see it's a little bit smaller than like the Florence fennel or the Zafano. I think this one's either Zafano or Florence. Also too, anise is pretty much almost exactly the same thing. I don't have any anise growing. I did grow it a couple of years. It doesn't really do good in my climate, but you could pretty much do the same thing with it. So you just make sure there's no insects on here. All right, well, let's give that one a try. Very intense. The bronze fennel has a very intense fennel flavor, but again, they break up very nicely. They chew up. You can swallow it. No, nothing sticking to your mouth, nothing like that. It just chews up just like any other vegetable. If you get them at the right time, they're perfect. They break up and chew up nice and soft, and nothing clumps together. It's a very nice effect. They're so good, I'm going to have another one. Let's pick one of these. Easy one to get here. Now, you got to be careful on how much fennel you eat. There is some things out there that say, fennel could have a toxic effect if you eat too much. Maybe even hallucinatory effect. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've read. So I don't know. You got to be careful on how much fennel seed you eat. But I eat these by the handfuls, not daily, but when it's in season, I'll eat. I'll come out into my garden and I'll just grab a few handfuls of this, a few handfuls of that, a few handfuls of that, and I just keep going until my belly is full. And this is one of the things I like to eat. It's a very nice after dinner or after you eat type of effect. It really freshens up your breath. So let me do that one. I'm going to be honest with you. The intensity was stronger with the bronze fennel as far as the fennel flavor. But as far as the sweetness and smoothness of the other fennel seeds, I'm definitely going to have to go with the Florence fennel or the Zafano fennel. It's definitely much smoother. The bronze fennel is good. It's just it has a little bit of wild flavor to it more, which is fine. Doesn't bother me. But the Florence fennel, the seeds are very, very smooth, just like you would get in a store. So I don't know. I figured I'd show you how I eat my fennel seeds, and if you want to grow fennel and you're not somebody who's very successful at getting fennel to bulb, I have had my fennels bulb, but it's just hit and miss. It's like some years they bulb easy and other years they bolt. So it's really hit and miss with fennel. So either way, I'm happy with it, because if I get the bulb, great. I'm eating fennel bulb. If the fennel bolts, well, I eat the seeds, and they're just as good to me. So that's it. That's how I eat my fennel seed, and that's pretty much the best time to eat your fennel seeds, unless you're going to store them for long term. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.